What up, what up? You know what it is. Welcome to On the Map. I'm your host, Coach Paul. That handsome young fellow over there is my co-host, Jay. And today's guest, he doesn't look 6'5" because he's sitting down, but this young man is 6'5". Today's guest finished freshman season with 3,230 passing yards, 32 passing touchdowns with a 73% completion percentage, and also managed to break the city section completion record with as many times as they threw the ball, man. I was jealous, but this young man is also named first team rivals freshman All-American. Currently holds 9 Division I offers. Let's welcome the QB from Hamilton High School right here in Los Angeles, California, Thaddeus
And
Breaux.
Sir, what's up? What's up?
Yeah, welcome to the
Pleasure to
show,
have you.
sir. Welcome to the show, bro. Welcome to the show. How you been?
Yeah, I've been good. I've been good.
That's
You know,
right.
it ain't really been up to too much, but just football.
It's coming up.
Yeah,
Yep.
just football. You just got done with track too, right? At the end of the school year.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I ran a couple of events in track, 100, 200, 400, just wherever they needed me at.
Just a couple. He just
He
listed
named
off
all
three of the
of
major. He just listed off three of the major events that Noah Lyles dominates in. So I'm just saying, or I can't wait to see what you do with it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get right into this. Thaddeus, you are already the most talked about quarterback in the 2029 class. When did you realize football could be something special?
I mean, if I had to say a moment in time, I'd probably say like when I was around 9. Because before that, I was in football, but it wasn't really something that I really thought about in the future. But then, when I turned 9, it was when it kind of became a reality with me because that was when I started working the most. And people were telling me, talking to me like, hey man, you could really go far in this. So I feel as if after that I kind of realized, hey, I could really do this as a career path.
Nice. Were you also the tallest at 9 years old?
Nah, nah. Oh, I was up there, but I wasn't the tallest. I wasn't the
All
tallest.
right, all right, all right, all right.
When did you hit
When did
your
you
growth
become the
spurt?
tallest? Sorry,
Yeah, what
Jay.
was your growth spurt? Yeah.
I never really had a growth spurt. I've always been tall. So, a lot of the kids that were taller at a young age, they had their growth spurt early. So, they was like 6 foot in the sixth grade, but I was on like a constant 2 inches per 6 months.
Okay.
So I was like right there with them, and then after about 13, they kind of died off, and I
They
just kept on
stopped. You
growing.
kept going.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So when I was about 14, it kind of really showed I was taller than everybody else.
Yeah, there you go. He's saying 6 foot by sixth grade. We also kind of have to remember Thaddeus played on elite Pop Warner teams, so these aren't just regular kids. They're kids with the genes to be Division I football players. So let's also keep that in mind. But yeah, it's your height. We have a question about that later in the show, but your height definitely plays into advantage when it comes to the day to day, game to game, and of course recruiting. But my question for you is. Your freshman season, Hamilton had a loaded schedule. You guys played great Southern Section talent like Loyola, Gardena Serra, Pacifica. How do you think you performed against those teams?
You know what? I think I did well. Obviously I could have done better. I had a lot of things that I could take from those games that I can improve on, but I feel as if I played pretty decent against those teams, and I'm excited to play them again this year.
Nice. Speaking about running it back, right? As you play those top teams and you being a freshman, a lot of people talk about how true freshmen like would fold under pressure. You stepped into the pressure this year. How do you think that pressure from last year, because it's going to double up, how do you think that's going to affect you this year? I know it wasn't a question we sent you, just kind of one of those things where I want to know because in those games you performed very well. Even though you said you didn't, you did. So, like, what's your mindset going into those games next season?
I mean, I wouldn't stress it too much. Obviously I'm gonna be a little nervous before the games, but just doing my best out there, making sure I'm ready for the team. Obviously it's a team sport, so I'm not just playing for myself. I'm playing for everybody else. So just kind of minimizing the amount of pressure that's on me, and just being able to perform for the team. That's all I'm really worried about. So
I love that answer. I love that answer. So we're talking about playing those three teams, right? But you guys had a long season. So I want to know what was the toughest adversity you faced last season?
I mean, we had what was it, about three game losing streak, and I felt as if it was just kind of we came into that Venice game specifically, and we was on that losing streak, and it was how can we bounce back from this, because obviously the team was kind of not too high on themselves at that point, and we just kind of had to figure out, hey, okay, we got to reset, get it together, because we're nearing the end of the season. We can't worry about these games that we just dropped. What can we worry about now for the future? What can we improve on now for the future to win these games? So just overcoming ourselves, really, our own mentality, which was, hey, we lost these games. We got to bounce back. So I feel like that was a big adversity that we had to overcome.
I love it. I love it. Self reflection is very key, especially in certain games, man. So you being so young and hearing you talk about that you guys looked in the mirror and you guys really reflected to bounce back is very special, especially going into next year and it being your sophomore year. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, he brings up kind of that 3 game losing streak, and that just kind of it rung a bell with me, and I kind of forgot last season that the Western League was kind of the league with the most just shocking, not necessarily shocking results, but it was an expectation that Palisades and Hamilton consensus wise we're gonna finish top two, and then of course as you mentioned one of the games you guys dropped was the University by one, and then Venice ends up losing to like Fairfax, or I think I'm mixing up teams. So it was like one week this team is performing as expected, and then the next week they just fall off a cliff. And it reminded me of that last season, seeing that as an outsider. It was like, wow, I don't know who's gonna be in first place in the Western League. I don't know. I'm excited to see, keeping an eye, checking Eric Sonnenheimer's tweets on Twitter, trying to get updates because sometimes he's a little more reliable than Max Press. But yeah, not necessarily a question for Thaddeus, but just kind of for the viewers. Just yeah, the Western League was super crazy last year, and super excited to watch it again this year because, a little sneak peek to something me and Coach Paul have cooking. But I think the Western League is going to be one of the best leagues in the city section next year. But that is, although you guys fell just short against Gardena in the playoffs, how did it feel to get that taste of playoff football, especially as a freshman starting?
I think it was good. It kind of gets you accustomed to, the it's kind of nerve wracking. You're in the playoffs. It's win or go home. So now I'm kind of used to that, to the pressure that comes with the playoffs. And although we did fall short, I feel as if it was a learning lesson at the end of the day, and it was just a stepping stone for next season. Essentially, okay, now we know what to expect, and so I think that's gonna really, now we're gonna be more prepared going into the playoffs this year.
So to piggyback off of Jay's question, for you as the leader of the team, what was your biggest takeaway from that loss?
My biggest takeaway from the loss, I mean, I would
Yeah.
say, we just got to finish. We had the game in our hands. We was up with less than a minute left, and we just kind of dropped the ball on it. And as a team, we got to improve because on offense we had times when we could have scored to widen the lead, and we didn't. And on defense, we had times when we really could have stopped them, and we didn't. So I mean, just getting it together and fixing those little problems, because it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was big gaping issues that were obvious. It was little issues that were happening in the huddle with miscommunications or just subtle accidents that really cost us the game. So just making sure that we focus on the tiny details, and that will go a long way for us. So
That's very true, and I know Coach Asante does an amazing job with you and your guys' team. One thing I can just give you like a little tidbit, man. Especially when you see those moments arising because you are the captain of the ship, and you are in the huddle. When you start to see those things, the best thing to do is just address it with calmness and with the demeanor of a leader, man. Like you're as cold as ice right here, man. Like you are very very well poised. So just be that example for your team, man. And I promise you, you guys will fix those little things, and Hamilton can make some noise next year.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are a young team overall, so those bumps in the road, that's natural. It'll come. It's like you said, it's up to you guys to fix it and only look forward and better from there. But my question for you is, we talked about the whole season, kind of talked about what was the hardest part. I want to know, in your opinion, what was the your best performance? Which game or games, if you have multiple?
I would say the Venice game, really. And specifically because if you look at it, we were down by 2 touchdowns, with about around 10 minutes left, and we rallied back. We was on the sideline. I was talking to the coach, and Coach Elijah had the confidence in me to go on the field and call my own plays. And obviously, I ain't call all of them. Coach Elijah did call some, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, he kind of had the confidence in me to say, "Hey, look, we need this win. We're down by 2 scores. I'm gonna put the game in your hands. Get us in the end zone." Ultimately, we were able to twice in 10 minutes, and then we go into overtime, and we win in the final moments. On a game-winning rushing touchdown, and then an extra point to go up by one. So I wouldn't say it was my best game statistically, but just the importance of it and the way that we won it. I would say that was my best performance.
Mm. I'm curious. Was that game rushing touchdown? Was that scored by you?
Yeah, it was.
Was it? I think I saw a clip where you kind of scrambled to the right and you just not necessarily trucked the guy, but just put your whole body weight in front of him and you just naturally fell forward because of your size. Was it
Yeah,
that one?
yeah, it was. It
Okay,
was.
cool. Yeah, I saw it and it went kind of semi-viral, at least on my side of social media. So it's kind of cool to connect the dots.
Yes, sir.
As a as a young man, like, what kind of feeling does that give you for a coach to just be like, "Hey, man, you're the guy. You go win this game." Because I know as a coach, I give some freedom. Like, there's audibles, right?
Hmm.
But there's also where it's just like, all right, go line up, see what you see. What type of confidence does that give you, and do you feel when your coach is just like, all right, Thaddeus, do you?
It's a real confidence booster because not every quarterback gets to do that. Not
Yes.
every coach has the trust in their quarterback to just say, "Hey, take the game. They take the game in your hands. You got it. You got the play calling. Do what you do, see what you see, and call your plays." I feel as if that's a real compliment from my coach.
Yep.
Knowing that he believes in me enough to be able to go in there and trust that I'm gonna go out there and call the right plays and score for our team. So I'm grateful for the coach because obviously he's trusted me with the team,
Yep.
and it's really giving me a confidence booster, and it's really benefiting me in a lot of ways.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So to build those skills and give you that confidence is dope because at 6'5", what do you think the advantages are to your size? And give me a couple things that you're still trying to prove on because you are 6'5".
I have a lot of advantages being 6'5". Obviously I have the physical advantage against a lot of people because you don't see too many people that are 6'5". So, and at the same time, just being able to see over the line, it makes it way easier because now I don't gotta,
That's true.
I don't gotta worry about my line blocking my view. I got a clear view of the defense, makes my reads a little easier. I can see my receivers clear. But I would one thing that I'm trying to improve on really, I would say, throwing on the run specifically, being able to throw on the run at the same time, being able to set my feet and throw the ball on the dime because a lot of our offense is movement. If you ever watched our games or some clips, a lot of our plays is on the move. So that's something that I really got to perfect because that's about 80% of our offense. And at the same time, when I'm rolling out and that DN comes in contain, I got to be able to set my feet and deliver while just stopping on the dime. So those are the two main things that I'm trying to improve on this offseason.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, that seeing over the line comment's pretty funny because I remember getting into just high school football as a whole. Obviously, when I was a student and playing, uh just like so, our quarterback he wasn't as big as you. He was around 6'2", 6'3". But I remember it was one of those end of the season practices. A Thursday, I walked away. We were just having fun, And I remember like a couple of us, we just lined up at QB, took a couple like snaps, and I remember, and keep in mind, my O line wasn't very tall or big. You know, the tallest guy might have been like 6'1", 6'2". And I remember seeing like, wow, it's kind of hard to see down the middle trying to see these routes. Like these guys are towering over me. So it's just kind of funny that you brought that up because I feel like a lot of people don't take that into factor. Like a guy like Kyler Murray who's in the NFL, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a single lineman under 6'3", maybe 6'2". So kudos
Oh
to him
yeah,
for
nah.
sure. For sure, yeah. I feel like a lot of people just sleep on that, and just that's another dynamic of just how hard the quarterback play is, even at the high school level. Forget D1, forget college as a whole, forget NFL.
Facts.
So that's just a funny nitbit that you brought up. But we spoke about your freshman season. We spoke about the good, the bad. I kind of want to talk about this off season, your recruitment more specifically, before we take a quick preview to next season. We see that, of course, we mentioned that you've had offers flowing in, but I kind of want to keep the conversation more local. What was it like taking visits to the two local campuses here in Los Angeles, UCLA and USC, and what stood out about each program?
I felt as if it was a good experience. Just being able to go onto campus and see the way they prepare for just practice and the way that they practice on the field, and at the same time how they operate in the film room as well. How they break down concepts, how they break down defenses, and they're able to just take note and reflect that onto the football field. You know, so I feel as if in that standpoint it was a great experience, and then at the same time, just watching these not high schools, colleges, practice and the way they operate on the practice field is never hey, you messed up, it's your fault. It's hey, okay, you messed up on this. How can we fix that? Because we're a team. When you messed up, we messed up, and we got to fix that together. So I feel as if that kind of mentality really sets them apart. From the elite to the all right schools. Elite schools, they build each other up, and that's the way that's what I saw over there at UCLA and USC. They really built each other up and learned from each other. So that's my biggest takeaway.
Nice. I like that.
I like those answers. And just for me as a city section guy, there's city section guys at USC and UCLA. So I know they'll probably gone by the time you're a freshman, incoming freshman in college. But either way, if you do commit to one of those, even though we're looking super far into the future, I wouldn't mind either of those as a city section guy.
Hey, I'll rock a Thaddeus Breaux jersey. Either or.
Yes, sir. I'll rock one too. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of jerseys, because I know we got a question that's not on here that definitely got to ask. Can you please tell our viewers and our subscribers what number you wear and why you wear that number?
Oh, I wear 22, and the reason why I wear 22 is really because of my birthday. February 22nd, and that was my first number. Because of my birthday, I just kind of stuck with it. I'm gonna stick with it for as long as I can. When I get to college, I'm gonna ask them, "Hey, can I get 22?" And
There
if
it
they say,
is.
and if they tell me no, all right, let me get number two. I want to keep it in the twos.
I like it.
So,
I like it.
but
Hey, that's
yeah,
cool. February
it's great.
22nd. A lot of kids your age don't get to compete at the elite level, right? You were able to compete at these elite camps such as Rivals, Elite 11, the Under Armour All-American, knowing you're surrounded by the best talent in the state and the national recruits around the country.
Before that,
How
I
does
gotta finish the question, but the rest of the question was, how does that make you feel to be able to compete with the best talent, not only in California but nationwide at those camps? Sorry about that.
Uh,
There you go.
you, it feels great. It's not every day that you're a freshman, you get invited out to these camps. So, just competing with these guys is a huge privilege for one. And at the same time, I'm able to take note from these guys and learn, what it takes to become one of the top in the nation. So, obviously, as a camp, I'm competing with them. It's a competition. I always want to do better than you, but at the same time, I respect you. You're one of the top in your class, one of the top in the nation. I can really take something from you to be able to get to your level someday. You know, so
Nice.
I feel as if those camps was a real good experience.
has there been any other QBs that you've got to compete against that really stood out to you?
Great question.
Ooh, I mean, if I had to say one, I think Brady. Nah, was he at the Elite 11? I don't think so. But I don't think it was real anybody that I could really take note to.
Okay,
I wasn't really paying attention to the names. I was just
that's right.
competing out there.
I like that.
But I feel if I were to take competition and where I think the best competition was quarterbacks wise, I would say Under Armour. Under Armour, you had a lot of great quarterbacks out there
Okay.
that were really competing, and the MVP there, I seen some of his throws. He was slinging it out there, a lot. So I feel as if he was. I can't name drop him. I don't remember his name, but he was the guy that really stood out to me. The MVP over there at the Under Armour camp when I was there. He was slinging it out there.
That's right.
Shout out to him. If any of the viewers know who that is, shout out to that guy. I'm sure he's heading to a
Yep.
Group of 5 powerhouse college. I'm curious, how is kind of the structure of these camps? Clearly, I was not invited to any of these camps in high school. So is it
Me
like
neither.
you like sign in and then of course you do the drills and then like do you have conversations with the recruiting analysts there at the very end, or is it just kind of like, all right, go home, thanks for coming, guys, or like what's kind of the structure like?
You come out, they sign you in. Obviously, they have the list, and after the camp, they'll do their shout outs. For the MVP, who they thought was the best receiver, best
Okay.
DB. And then after the fact, they'll have some reporters on the side
Mm,
or interviewers, and they'll handpick who they want to interview. So they'll say, hey, let me get number 63, 85,
okay.
72. I want to interview them, and the host of the camp will come over to you and be like, hey, they got an interview for you, and that's kind of how they do it.
And were you picked to do a couple interviews?
Under Armour, I was.
Under Armour. Okay, sweet.
Nice.
Yes,
Nice.
sir.
All right, man. It's been a great conversation. My last question for you is a very general one, so you can take it in whatever direction you want, whether it's a game, a moment, a week, just the season in general. What are you most looking forward to next season?
Well, I'm looking forward to playing, obviously, Sarah and Loyola again. I feel as if our team has gotten a lot better from last year, and just being able to test out the new team against Sarah and Loyola, and I feel me personally, I feel like we can give them a run for their money. And I'm excited to see how we fare against those teams.
I love that. Yeah, Southern section versus City section. I'll be watching. I'll be keeping a close eye on those matchups for sure.
Oh,
Yes,
me
sir.
too. Me too. Me too. Thaddeus, as we get ready to wrap up the show, I, we got to interview your coach. Great man, great coach. So as we get ready to wrap up, I want to know what's the biggest lesson your head coach, Coach Asante, has taught you thus far.
I would say it's how you carry yourself. You always want to show yourself as respectful. You know, you want to show yourself as somebody that's always prepared, that's you know somebody that's willing to work. And when you go out to these college coaches, you want to present yourself as a model athlete. You never want to you never want to give them a bad first impression. So just the way you carry yourself on and off the field, because you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. So you always got to make sure you keep yourself in check.
That is. Do you guys, for everybody that watches the show, did you just hear that answer? Like, that is the best answer that we've gotten to that question. And I want to shout out your coach, your parents, everybody that's involved in guiding you throughout your journey, man. You being a freshman and being recognized the way you are, that is something special. And the fact that you have the right people around you to guide you is something special. Your future is very bright. I'm glad we got to talk to you for this little 25 minutes. Jay, you got anything for him?
No, just showing my typical gratitude as I do to all our guests. You're very well spoken, man. You will do very well beyond the years of football once football does end for you. Kudos to obviously Coach Asante, to mom, to dad, everyone there. And as much pressure as you have, it's good to see that you were so well spoken and calm. And at the end of the day, you're a teenager, man. Go enjoy high school. Football is always gonna last so long. Make lifelong friends, experience new things, man. That's all I gotta say. And good luck on the new season, of course.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
And when you do decide to commit, uh, we don't want to announce it because that's your thing. Just shoot us an inbox and let us know. Just be like, yo, we're going. This is where I'm gonna go. You know, I gotta call for a little bit of favoritism out here. You know, we out here putting on the show. We gotta get a little insider stuff. But we wish you the best of luck, young man. We will be watching. We will be rooting for you. May God bless you and your family, and the best of luck to you next season, Thaddeus.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. For everybody that tuned in, we thank you for tuning in. For all our subscribers, thank you for being a subscriber. If you're new to the show, go ahead, hit the follow button, hit the bell for new notifications. We want to thank our sponsors. They're no longer on here because I don't know how to make the graphic because they changed our format. But Black Market Chicken, Never Waver Apparel.
To them.
Until next time, I'm your host, Coach Paul. Again, that's my co-host, Jay, over there. And today's guest was our 6'5" freshman phenom, Thaddeus Breaux. Until next time, y'all be safe. Peace.
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 Nice.